Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Stylam Industries Limited Q3 FY26 earnings call. As a reminder, all participants' lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Anshika Patnaik. Thank you, and over to you.
On behalf of Systematic Institutional Equities, we welcome you all to the Q3 FY26 conference call of Stylam Industries Limited. From the management side, we have Mr. Jagdish Gupta, Managing Director, Mr. Maneet Gupta, Full-Time Director, Mr. Kishan Nagpal, Chief Financial Officer. I'll now hand over the call to MD Sir for his opening remarks, followed by the Q&A session. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, distinguished investor. It is both an honor and privilege to welcome you to this investor meet. I am Jagdish Gupta, Managing Director of the company. Joining me, Maneet Gupta, Executive Director of the company, Mr. Kishan Nagpal, Chief Financial Officer. On behalf of the entire leadership team, I extend our sincere appreciation for your continued trust and support. The investor presentation has already been made available on NSE and BSE and company's official website. I hope you have had a chance to review it. Nevertheless, I would like to take a few minutes to walk you through the key financial highlights and strategic milestones that define the quarter and 9 month ended on 31st December. Revenue growth quarter ended 31st December 2025. The company recorded a turnover of approximately 271 crore compared to 250.5 crore in the corresponding quarter of the previous year, registering a quarter-on-quarter growth of 6.45%. This performance reflects our sustained market expansion and ability to meet evolving customer requirements. For the 9-month period, the company achieved a turnover of approximately 846 crore as against 759 crore in the corresponding period previous year, reflecting a year-on-year growth of 11.38%. Quarter export performance quarter ended 31st. Export turnover stood at 198 crore compared to 185 crore in quarter 3 24-25, registering a growth of 6.75%. Export amounting to 9 months ended 31st December. Export amounting to approximately 617 crore against 543 crore in the corresponding 9-month period ended December 2024, reflecting a growth of 13.59%. Export continue to be a key driver of our overall performance. Domestic performance. Quarter ended 31st December. Domestic turnover increased to 72.89 crore from 68.97 crore in the corresponding year, reflecting a growth of 5.68%. 9 months ended domestic turnover rose to 229.5 crore compared to 217 crore in the corresponding period of previous year, registering a growth of approximately 6%. We are undertaking targeting initiative to further strengthening our domestic market presence and momentum going forward. Profitability. For the quarter ended December 25, our PAT margin improved at 16.97% compared to 11.95% in the corresponding period of previous year, primarily due to the reduction in forward contract losses of 10.31 crore to 2.33 crore. For 9-month period ended 2022, PAT margin improved to 13.18% against 12.22% in corresponding previous year. EBITDA margin, despite raw material cost pressure, our EBITDA margin improved to 20.51% for the quarter ended December 25 compared to 18.07% in the corresponding quarter of the previous year. For the 9-month period, December 25, EBITDA margin stood at 19.51% against 18.72% in the corresponding previous year. This improvement underscores our efficient sourcing practice and inventory management. That I am pleased to reconfirm that company continue to remain net debt free, reflecting prudent financial management, strong internal control, and disciplined capital allocation. Second, I would like to highlight our strategic partnership with ICA Kogyo of Japan. This investment reflects confidence in Stylam business governance and long-term growth potential. Beyond capital, this partnership brings success to global technology, product innovation, and best manufacturing practice, which we believe will further strengthen our competitive position over time. Work on the capacity expansion, work on upcoming manufacturing facilities processing well and remain on track for commissioning by March 2026. This expansion will significantly enhance our production capacity, operational agility, and product portfolio capital requirement. Total planned investment for this project stood approximately 320 crore, including GST, out of which approximately 227 crore has already been deployed. I am pleased to report that project is progressing within the approved guideline and budget. In conclusion, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the board of its continued support and guidance. I also acknowledge the dedication of our employees, the trust of our customer, and the confidence of our shareholder, which together form the foundation of our sustained growth. Thank you very much. Hello.
Yes, you are audible to us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Keshav from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. So good to hear that promoter issue is behind. I want to get a sense on, the new promoter Kogyo coming in the books. As you highlighted, your competition intensity, whatever, competitiveness in market will improve. So how can Kogyo, help you to possibly speed up the growth? And now, what will be the outlook on the domestic business? Because earlier, Manav sir was handling, now he's not part of the business. So who will be, handling that business? And possibly, we are hopeful once you will handle this business, the growth will speed up. So what sort of new initiatives you are planning on the domestic side of the business? And lastly, now, who will be, just to follow up on this, lastly, now Kogyo coming up, whether they will be involved in day-to-day operations or not? Today and even in future.
No. Your question is 5-6 question. It will be mixed. Half I will answer you and half Manav is sitting with me. He will look after. He start looking after for the last 1 month domestic market. First of all, with this Japan, what we will get? We will get both best technology, which is if we need, which they are using for Japan market only. We are very strong in export. So they are very strong in domestic Japan market. Their brand is 70-80% Japanese market is with them domestically. Number 2, as far as their involvement is, they are our strategic partner only. And they have already mentioned in their public announcement in India as well as in Japan, that is available in their website, that we will remain the promoter director of the company. Long life. Because their company is a professional company. They have no promoter on that ICA company. So they have full trust on us. They are for the last 5 years, they are looking after us. So this type of, they have no involvement, except if we are going for a heavy expansion. We have many planned, many new projects with them. Then we need board approval. Otherwise, nothing. As far as domestic market is concerned, Manat will look after domestic market. Of course, I will be here. We already took over for the last 1 month, and losses which we are facing, the losses is reduced. Manat will tell you about the.
Keshavji, I think with the domestic market, because it was handled by Manav since quite a few years. So it might take 1 to 2 quarters minimum to get it rectified. Yes, initially since last 1 month, we have already started controlling everything, reducing the manpower. Unwanted manpower, many people are even joining us. There another HOD has joined us in sales last week as well. So I would see, you correctly said that this growth would be very drastically in a good speed, and we are hoping that in the next 2 to 3 years, we would achieve maybe among top 3 in India, what we are actually targeting for the domestic market. But it might take 1 to 2 quarters just to rectify what all had happened in the last 30 years.
Got it.
Keshavji.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
No, I think you can ask if anything else.
Okay. So earlier Manav sir was handling domestic, so now it will be handled by whom? Whether Manish sir or Shagdi sir who will be.
It is the same thing. It is the same thing. It will be professionally managed. Either it is me or it's my father who's handling it. So I think it would be done by both of us, but again, it would be professionally managed.
Got it. And when you have filed the press release, the Kogyo have the option to increase to 40%. Post that they have the option to even get the majority in the company. So can you please elaborate it more on the same key? What sort of option they have to buy more?
No, I think there is no option. If you see the option, what they have given, it is between 40 to 53%, which means they are buying or they have already bought Manav's share, which is 27%, and then comes the open offer of 26%. So if 27 plus 26 come to 53%, which they are obliged to buy. It is depends whether they get that number of shares or number of percentage from the market or not. So that is why it is minimum 40. Their aim or agenda is just to take 40%. But if number of shares are tendered in the open offer, then they have to buy up till 53%, which is a clause.
Mr. Keshav?
Let's say one. Just
Mr.
a follow-up on this. Just a last follow-up
you may
on this.
follow.
May I continue?
You can rejoin the queue as there are a number of participants waiting. Please. The next question comes from the line of Dhruv Bajaj from Growth Sphere Ventures LLP. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So firstly, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to ask question. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So sir, I had a couple of questions, very basic one. So first is from ICA Kogyo's perspective, how do they intend to position and integrate this acquisition? Because this is a major chunk that they have acquired. So do they primarily view the India operations as a manufacturing hub for the global requirements, which will ultimately imply a greater focus on maybe white labeling and potentially lower margins or ROI due to transfer pricing policy? Or do they intend to actively nurture and scale the existing Stylam brand in both domestic as well as export markets?
I think firstly, Stylam brand name and ICA brand name are two separate companies. That is a term that Stylam brand name will always remain there for the next 20, 30, 40 years till the time we are there in the company.
Right.
Secondly, I think that is still, we have not discussed yet because they are still not a part of the company and the board. We also don't know whether they would be getting all the products made in India and exported because they already have 7 to 8 manufacturing plants across the world. Secondly, they also have another Indian plant running in Rudrapur. So we still have no discussion over that particular point. Once they are on the board, then I think all this discussion would start happening. At the moment, I think there is no discussions or anything about manufacturing. As brand is concerned, Stylam will always remain there and Stylam would be doing whatever they are doing for the export and domestic market for the growth of the company, which is Stylam Industries.
Got it. That is very helpful. And sir, my major concern, or at least the portion of that the market participants also had, was that we were confused whether Jagdish Gupta family will exit this business completely or continue to be the partners given the nature of the arrangement.
We are not exiting, not even 1%, to be honest. We are not interested to even sell 1%. Yes, if as per the clause, if anything happens, we might have to give them some percentage. We know what company was doing and what company would be doing in future. So I think it was just a family rift which actually finally like went over after 3-4 years. So now we are quite positive for the entire market, whether it is domestic or
Got it. So if I understand correctly, so the other family where there was some rift or whatever you are saying, they have exited, whereas you guys will continue to be owners and operators of the business, right?
So actually they have exited the business, so it would be run similarly by my father and myself and our team.
Got it. And so there were a lot of rumors regarding ICA's acquisition of Stylam for the past 2 years or so. So if I can understand from your end, like how did this deal originate? Like were there any plans or maybe you guys also exiting or the deal was always from their end only?
Firstly, this was happening since last 4-5 years, and this is not an acquisition. This is a strategic partnership.
Strategic, right.
So in that case, they were after our company since many years, whatever we were doing in the export market. But yes, they are also quite positive that what Stylam is doing, they will definitely grow better. I think that is their aim, I guess.
So, but do you feel that there might be some sort of conflict of interest, or do you feel that the synergies will outweigh that? Like what type of synergies are you expecting? Because we are a bit confused because they target the same market, and so how will this thing flow? Like, won't this stop us from going into certain markets? Or if you can provide more clarity on that, sir.
Nothing at all. First of all, they are not present in the Western market at all. Europe, North America, they are not at all present anywhere. Their major market is APAC region. Secondly, ICA itself is a very big brand name. It's a very old brand name. Stylam is actually nothing in front of ICA, to be honest. So I think there is nothing, no conflict at all. It is just like two big brands getting together, and if you talk about automobile industry, there are only one owner having 2 or 3 multiple brands, but no one is actually they're actually competing in a healthy way. So that would be the only way.
Makes sense. That is very helpful. I was looking for this answer only. And okay, sir, thank you so much. I will join back the queue and ask the question that I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Aditya Pal from MSA Capital Partners. Please go ahead. Mr. Aditya?
Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and great to see you, Manit, on the call. And thank you so much for resuming the con call again. So, we were expected to start the new plant by September 2025, and now we are saying March 26. Is there any delay in terms of the equipment that are to come?
No. Actually, now the thing is, last year there is one modification by the Supreme Court that after 20,000 square meters you need EC. So we applied for the EC, and there is no CI in Haryana, so we have to apply to Center, MOFE, Ministry of Environment, and so it delayed by 2-3 months. Everything is online now. It will be operational by the end of March, definitely.
But all the equipment that were to come, we were importing, they have come. So there is no delay, right?
They are under trial.
Perfect.
Everything is in place.
Perfect. And sir, the business that we have, acrylic solid surfaces. So now and dumping duty laga tha usme. How are we thinking about it? Because we were quite positive on it, not just in the domestic market, but we are also looking at Taiwanese market.
No, to be honest, I think firstly for the domestic market, I think solid surface, it was all combined with laminates only. So it was again due to this family thing, we couldn't actually do anything in the domestic market. So that's why even after the anti-dumping duty, we didn't even sell one sheet there in domestic because there was a rift. So actually we used to go into the market, it would have been a problem to the HPL as well. So since last 1 month, solid surface is a part of HPL. So for us, each and every product now in export and domestic, we have been taking it separately since 1 month. That is why you will see the solid surface sales also going forward. Maybe after 1 quarter, you'll see the sales for domestic separately as well as export separately.
Export also, this ICA is buying locally. These are they are buying acrylic. They are selling in Japan market acrylic. So maybe, I'm not sure, they will buy from India also.
Understood. So, Manit, it is fair to say that now that this large chunk of issue that we had is behind us, and now Stylam is back to the old ways of growth momentum.
I think hopefully, yes, till the time he doesn't resign from the company, maybe another 1 week, 10 days. So hopefully everything, 99.9% everything is behind now.
Perfect. Kishan ji, just one last question, a data keeping question. If I can get the split for the 9 month, which is laminates and for acrylic solid surfaces.
9 month का चाहिए आपको?
हाँ सर.
मैं उसका बता दूँ, Q3 का बता दूँ, Q1
Q3 का बता दो मेरे को. बाकी I'll just mail you. बाकी आप मेरे को मेल पे बता देना.
डोमेस्टिक का 12.31 है और एक्सपोर्ट का 20.35 है, तो टोटल 32.67 है.
32.67.
हाँ,
ठीक है. तो ये
सॉरी, ये आपको आपने सॉलिड सरफेस का पूछा है ना?
हाँ, सॉलिड सरफेस का पूछा है.
सॉलिड सरफेस का ठीक है.
हाँ सर.
इसमें नंबर ऑफ शीट जो सेल हुई है वो 5574 है और अमाउंट 4.28 4.28
ठीक है. Thank you and wishing you and the team all the very best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Ritesh Shah, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. This is Ritesh calling from Investec. First is congratulations on the transaction and good set of numbers. Sir, just to clarify, sir, आपने बताया कि ICA will be okay with 40% stake, subject to basically what happens in the open offer, and our intent is to retain maximum stake. Is that correct, sir?
Correct, ji.
Correct.
Perfect. That's very encouraging. Sir, second is आपने बताया कि there will be large growth capex which is there. तो सर, how should we look at our capacity? आपने बताया कि मार्च तक capacity आ जाएगा, तो मार्च तक सर कितना capacity हो जाएगा, and उसके बाद सर what is the expansion like? Can we look to double our capacity? How should we look at it?
No, I think if you talk about capacity wise in laminates in square meter, I think
value-wise mostly
square meter it will be around 10 to 12 million square meter a month. The capacity we would be having after the new plant comes in. Secondly, domestic, जैसे आपको बताया, it's a very huge market for each and every product. So that is why definitely export में तो एक scope है ही है अभी भी, a huge scope, but domestic is it's the biggest market where we are targeting a lot. So we are hoping in the next 2 years that we would be able to utilize 80% plus or 85% plus capacity of the new plant.
Okay. और सर इसके ऊपर any plans right now?
Yeah, both plans.
अभी रितेश जी, not actually in terms with laminates, to be honest. अभी हमें वो पता नहीं है क्योंकि after they coming on board, what all synergy comes together. But definitely other products what we are talking to multiple companies जो पिछले 1 साल से due to this family issue हम आगे कर नहीं पा रहे थे. There are 2 or 3 multiple plants which we have already studied and discussed. So hopefully we might be able to give some news in the next 2-3 months about our expansion plans.
Wonderful. And so just last question.
Mr. Ritesh, sorry to interrupt. You can join the queue for the follow-up question, as there are a number of participants waiting.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Next question comes from the line of Chirag Shah from White Pine Investment Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Hi, sir. How are you?
Chirag ji, बढ़िया.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, 2 questions. सर, एक तो ये जरा टैरिफ और जो EU-FTA ट्रेड के कुछ अपडेट दे सके, बिकॉज जब इनिशियली बहुत पहले जब हमने लास्ट कॉल पे इंडिकेट किया था तभी 25% टैरिफ था. अभी एज ऑफ डेट इट इज 50%. एंड टुमारो इफ इट US.
Yes, I know. Listen, I understand your question. Manat, last week, Manat was in USA with their CEO. When there is a tariff, when there is anything unexpected, everybody start, USA also, they are not buying, they reduce buying. But now they are mentally prepared. On the raw material also, Mr. Trump has put on duty on raw material also, which they are importing from Europe or any other. So, Manat will tell you what is the effect of this.
Chiragi, firstly for Europe, I think the trade has happened. I think the import duty in Europe was 6.5%, which I think it will be 0% in the due course of time, I think, when the agreement signs. And for US, it is right now 50%, as I was there in US last week. So hopefully by February onwards, they'll start reordering everything. They've actually reordered us everything, and it will start manufacturing for them. So they would be taking that duty in their cost.
Okay. So because initially there was a fear that we will share some part of the duty.
Initially, when the duty was 10%, I think that time we were sharing some part, but with 50%, it is practically not possible for us. So they have also done their calculation that the entire US market is increasing the prices. So that is the only option for them to take the duty in the cost.
And they are hopeful also. Maybe it can 25% additional. They are indicating in every newspaper day before yesterday also. It can reduce any time, maybe 2 days.
Fair point. So we are not bearing that. So this is good news because there was a fear that हमें share करना पड़ेगा incremental 25%. This is good news.
नहीं.
Yeah. And the second on the EU FTA, तो ये 6.5% duty कम होता है. Does it benefit us in any way in terms of competitiveness versus any other region or ऐसा कुछ? Not really.
To be honest, ये 6.5% 3 साल से है. So I think ये कभी भी उस टाइम पे भी इतना effect नहीं करा हमें. Even we are supplying major quantities going to Europe. Maybe it can be a positive sign for organized Indian players. क्योंकि जो European, we would be able to compete more with the European manufacturers. So अभी honestly, everyone was in state that this would happen immediately, but this is not happening any time before.
No, it will take
early 27. So तब तक तो no one knows actually what will happen. But it can benefit us to compete with the organized European players.
Okay. And the last question, if I can. So coming to the Japanese partner that we have, उनका जो domestic operations है, is it fair to assume that even you would be looking at get merged into Stylam so that there is no competitive intensity between both of you? Is it a fair assumption to take?
No. चिराग जी पता नहीं वो जिस ढंग से they have assessed the value of the company, they know me for the last 5 years. पता नहीं उनके दिमाग में क्या है. But one thing we know very well, that company growth, everything will be in a different way after a few months. So we cannot comment on this thing. We can comment only on next. Surely within 2 months, we will have a special investor meet again, physically or virtually. Then we will let you know. Now we cannot comment anything. But we are quite hopeful that they will do what you are thinking.
Because I understand it is an underutilized plant. So we get access additional capacity via merger.
Maybe. No comments. No.
Okay, sir. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Viraj Parekh from Carnelian Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Anji Viraji, yes.
Good afternoon, Jagdish. Good afternoon, Manat. Congratulations, sir, on concluding the deal. Just a few questions. So firstly, थोड़ा धंधे पे जानना था. Export में अपना volume growth for 9 months, if I'm not wrong, has been approximately 2%. So how are we looking at that market going ahead? Value growth has been 14%, yes, but volume growth pickup नहीं हुआ है. तो यही जानना था कि अपना कुछ product mix has changed. Have you taken any kind of price hikes? And second, similar question to Manat, since a month you've been looking at the domestic market, and in your opening remarks, sir, you mentioned that you reduced some expenses and removed unnecessary labor. is there any scope के domestic market के margins were, domestic segment के margins were a little bit lower, and post rationalization we see margins to improve? If you can share some light on this.
Viratji, the first question about the volume and definitely yes, the volume has not increased much. Point number one is US. Point number two is worldwide multiple wars going in multiple areas. So still, if you see Middle East, whenever there is a war in any part of the world, I think there is a panic situation. That is why the volume didn't increase. The entire Middle East is fighting the entire Israel, Ukraine, every country. So that is one of the reasons for the volume, I would say consistent volume or a very small growth in the volume in spite of the value increase. So there was no price reduction or there was no price increase. Yes, in some parts we might have increased some prices, but not a very major decision done of volume on the prices. The second point for the domestic, which you were talking, Mito, it's been just a month. We are just reducing the unwanted expenses, and I would say the margins will improve, but it might take minimum 2 quarters because we are looking in each and every region, each and every state. So we are adding more people, and in the next another 1-2 months, there will be 100 more sales people joining the team. So it might take 2 months to actually get better margins from there and get better realization per sheet.
Thank you, Manit. Just a follow-up on export. I think अपना जो नया capacity we are going to be putting was going to be primarily for an anchor customer based out of US. So just wanted to understand.
That wasn't a correct information. We are putting this plant based on the market needs. There was nothing related to one particular customer. I think no company can be dependent on any one customer or one country. So that was a very false information given by someone from the management itself. Earlier he used to visit Bombay, so I won't comment on that. But that plant has been put up with multiple sizes, and some of the sizes no one has in India, looking at the global market and as well as the Indian market as well.
So Manojji, can you please share the view of ramping up this capacity from 27-28? How do we look at it?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Our capacity, sir, would commission from March 26, the new line which we are setting up.
Correct.
Can we understand the capacity ramp up of this facility in terms of utilization, in terms of revenue, what we are seeking in 27 and 28?
Utilization-wise, we are targeting in the next 2 years, we would be able to achieve 75-80% plus capacity utilization. Revenue-wise, I think it would be adding around between 700 to 1,000 CR.
Okay, sir. Understood. I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for your time. All the very best.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Ajay Sharma, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to check the domestic realization actually almost.
Mr. Ajay Sharma, are you there? Mr. Ajay Sharma, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Please proceed with your question.
Can you? Okay, I just want to check on the domestic versus export realization. I see that the domestic price is almost 50% lower than the export price. So, I mean, for the new capacity, are we going to target domestic or exports?
Then again, it is 70-80% is domestic with the new capacity because the sizes are not very common for the Indian domestic market. The realization of domestic market was very well known to everyone that it was on a very low side because we were selling all commodity products only, which we are changing and which would be changing, and it might take 2 quarters, which I have already told in the call earlier, which would increase the realization as well.
Okay. And secondly, I see that you have offered to sell 12% also to your Japanese partner in addition to the 27-28% being sold by the other party.
We are not selling anything. I think if you have, please read that very carefully, that there will be an open offer after 27%. If they get 13% from the market, we won't be selling anything. If they don't get anything shortfall minus 40, maybe 1-2%. That only would be going from our side.
Even more, but then we will.
It depends how much shares are tendered in the open offer.
So they will be 40 in any case, right? Because you will have to sell the balance in case they don't get anything, right?
Yes, correct. We have to sell the balance if they don't get the remaining 13% from the open offer.
And you will be, if you get 40, then you will be 35, is it?
No, not 35. I think 27 point something. 28% you can say.
So they end up getting more stake than you, and so how do you run the company then? I'm just not very
Mr.
clear.
Ajay, sorry to interrupt. You need to follow up for the follow-up questions. The next question comes from the line of Sneha Talreja from Nuvama Wealth Management. Please go ahead.
Hey, good evening and good afternoon, team, and thanks for the opportunity. Just two questions from my end. Firstly, on the cost front, given that, we've recently seen INR depreciation and, commodity prices moving up, what is the impact that you're seeing on your margins at this point of time, or are you able to easily pass through?
No, sorry, we couldn't understand the question.
You must be importing a lot of paper, if I'm not wrong, and chemicals. Given the recent INR depreciation, what's the kind of cost pressure that you're seeing, and are you able to, pass it on?
So to be honest, for domestic, I really cannot comment because it's been just 1 month we have started looking after this deal was announced. So we have no idea. Definitely domestic, we are going for another price increase from 1st April. So we would be passing it in for the domestic market. For export market, it actually doesn't matter because it's a natural hedging for us.
Understood. Secondly, Jagdish mentioned a couple of times that, the talks with the Japanese partner has been on for the last 4 to 5 years. And, we still are trying to figure out that what would be the synergies between both of you and, ACA in terms of exports opportunity. Have you not heard anything from them that whether they're looking out for a manufacturing partner for themselves in India, or they're looking at, creating a, brand itself in India, something that you must have heard over this period of 4 to 5 years from them?
Nothing at all, because as of now, after the deal was announced, they cannot even discuss anything till the time they are on the board. So once the deal is done, I think then we would be sitting down and discussing. Again, their agenda is to grow ICA in a separate manner and Stylam in a separate manner. There is no discussions about their Indian plant at all yet. For exports, we have nothing has been discussed. They were just after Stylam since quite a while now, and hopefully after next month or maybe in the next call, we would be able to answer that question as well.
Understood. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Yash Tawani from Amara Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. Just 2-3 questions I have. So first, just trying to understand that what is the maximum utilization that we can get from the existing capacity of 20 million that we have. That is first. And second, I'd like to understand what is the bifurcation do we have in terms of the HPL and the low pressure laminates compared to the current volumes that we sell, and what is the margin difference between these two? Yeah, this is all.
First of all, we are not producing low pressure. That is a different, that is a MDF. With low pressure is a different thing. We are producing only high pressure laminate, HPL.
Okay. And what is the maximum utilization we can take from the existing 20 million that we have?
Existing which we have, we are already, there is some combination like some compact laminate, some thin laminate. We are already utilizing almost 90-95% utilization.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Parks, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Hello.
Who?
Yeah. Hi, sir. So thank you for the opportunity. Sir, I just wanted to, check again that, did you mention that the new capacity would be, deployed towards the domestic market? Just a clarification.
Yes, you see, that is some domestic, some export. We have a different size. One press is 7 feet size, which is only two companies in the world have. We are the third in the world. So that is a different market, domestic and export. And some is for domestic also, other sizes.
It will be 70% for the export market, 30% for the domestic market.
Got it. Got it. And sir, just wanted to again check that in the exports market, like what would be our current exposure to US and Europe, and where do we see it like after 2 years?
See, sir, US KD, we have not even supplied more than 10% as of date to US market.
Okay.
For Europe, I think Europe is one of our biggest markets.
And how much that would be, sir?
I think, if I'm not
rough numbers
wrong,
are also
more than 50%.
Okay, and where do we see this going in over the next 2 years? Both US and Europe?
See, US again cannot comment anything on US depending on 50% tariffs. I think no one can comment on that. If it reduces back to 25%, 10%, then we can give a figure. Europe, I think we are looking at maybe 20-25% growth in the next 2 years.
Got it, sir. And sir, just wanted to check on the capex front. Like when we announced it, our number was around 225-250 crores, and now is 300 plus. So, like, what has changed over this period? Like,
We have actually added. Earlier, we were just planning for 3 presses, so we added another press there to actually complete the plant. So during that 1 year, we thought of another press size which was missing with us. So that is why, plus some new advanced machine, that is why the capex went up till this amount.
Thank
Got
you.
it.
You
Got
may
it.
rejoin the
Thank
queue.
you.
The next question comes from the line of Rishit Javeri from CBA Asset Manager. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Congratulations on the good, decent set of numbers. So just wanted to understand post the new plan goes live and the merger with Kogyo comes in, what would be our working capital requirement and the effect on a blended level?
So can you please repeat the question? I think your voice is not audible.
Am I audible now? Better?
I think
Still
not very clear.
Rishit, your volume is little bit very
Hello.
low. Yes.
Is it better?
Yes.
now better.
Yeah. So, sir, post the new plant coming live and the merger, what would be the working capital requirement? Would there be an increase in the working capital days?
Oh, listen, first of all, I told you we are totally debt free. Nothing. No need any working capital at all. Because our all export is not any credit. Only domestic market we are facing credit. So whichever, maybe next year, there will be again maybe 200 crore FDR again. So we don't need any working capital.
Okay, great, sir. And sir, can you share any revenue guidance for next year and next to next year?
Yes, we can just tell you about next year. We can't comment on the next to next year because no one knows what will happen in the Indian market or global market. But next year we're definitely targeting 15 to 1600 crores plus.
In FY27, correct?
FY26, correct.
Okay, 1500 to 1600 crores. Okay, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Yogansh Jaswani from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Congratulations to the team on a good set of numbers. And it's good to see the announcement on the deal. I think a big standing challenge in front of the family and the company gets resolved by this. Good wishes to you, Jagdish, and the entire team. So just one question on the capex. Manoj, you did answer to a previous participant. So earlier in con calls, we have mentioned that the new facility that we are setting up will be majorly focusing on the exports, as the most of the presses that we are putting in are of the sizes which are needed in the export market, and we're not putting in any 8x4 Kawala press. So has that configuration changed with this deal
नहीं
coming in and now you're
नहीं, nothing like this. Whatever investment is being done, the sizes are the same. Earlier, I think we were, as again, due to the family rift, we never used to comment anything on the domestic market because we were handling just the export market. But we know all these sizes also run in the domestic market. Now, as everything is being handled by us, we are able to comment easily that 70% would be for the export market and 30% of those sizes can be for the Indian market as well.
Fair enough.
And some of those sizes we are already supplying in the Indian market. It is just that we might have less capacity, and with this additional capacity in that particular size, we would be expanding the Indian market as well, and we would be more aggressive in the market. So earlier we never used to say anything about the domestic market. It was only about the export market.
Fair enough, sir. And sir, in the last con calls, we had mentioned that the peak revenue potential of this capex, the new one, is 700 to 800 crore. Well, you also mentioned that you have increased the capex spend and added some more press in that. So does that increase meaningfully, or we are still conservatively guiding?
No. So that is why we said between 700 to 1000 CR. So 1000 CR is the cap if we utilize all the 4 presses with full capacity, and 700 would be the minimum.
Got it. And sir, last question, if I can squeeze in. On the solid services, if you could guide how you can grow this business, as this has been struggling for a while. Now with the domestic things in your control, how will this pan out?
So 2 things, I think. One is the domestic market. We are very positive now for the entire domestic market. Rather it is solid surface or laminates, all will be going in a very positive way. Second thing is for the export market. Again, one is the Japanese would be also are buying this product, so there is one hope that we would be discussing with them about outsourcing from their plant in India. Secondly, the export market as well, due to the family rift, we actually never, me and my father, we actually never focused much on that particular business. So our agenda was just to work on the HPL. So we are positive. I won't say that it will do some magic numbers in 1 year, but it would definitely go in next 2 to 3 years.
But so the production and the quality issues have been resolved.
Everything is fine. It was just that our focus was not there again due to this family problem. But the entire product is made as per the European quality. There is no issues in the quality.
European machine, everything.
So everything is there. It is just that we were not actually focused due to this issue at home.
Got it, sir. That's it, sir. Thank you and all the very best.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Rishabh Bothra from Anand Rathi Shares and Stock. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes,
Good afternoon,
you're
sir.
audible.
Yes, Rathi sir.
Congratulations.
Yes.
कैसे हैं सर?
बढ़िया बढ़िया
सर 2-3 चीज, एक तो ओवरसीज मार्केट में डिमांड कैसा है और डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में डिमांड कैसा है, इसके ऊपर अगर आप थोड़ा सा लाइट दे सकते हैं.
हाँ, ये रखिए. क्या डोमेस्टिक मार्केट, एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट, क्या
डिमांड एनवायरनमेंट कैसा है?
नहीं, डिमांड तो देखो, इंडिया ये बेस्ट मार्केट, डोमेस्टिक मार्केट बढ़िया, एक्सपोर्ट भी हमारे लिए तो बोथ आर सेम, both are growing for us. Domestic was not growing. Now we are hopeful that it will grow. Export, you can understand. We got 2 prizes. 2.
Hello.
Yes.
Background noise, Rishabh, from your end.
Okay. Just a sec. So, just to understand, अगर डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में ग्रोथ ज्यादा रहेगा तो रेवेन्यू मिक्स हो सकता है ज्यादा रहे गोइंग फॉरवर्ड.
क्या ज्यादा रहेगी? रेवेन्यू.
हाँ, अगर ग्रोथ डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में
ग्रोथ कितना भी रहेगी, बस दैट इज व्हाई वी मेंशन दैट नेक्स्ट ईयर दैट इज आवर टारगेट फॉर रेवेन्यू. So again, there won't be any magic happening in 1 year, whatever we were doing wrong in the last 30 years due to wrong management. So it might take 1 to 2 quarters just to rectify it. So growth market hai. There is no issues in market, in the Indian market as well as global market.
And margin guidance for next year, you mentioned on revenue front, but what margin you are looking at?
Margins would definitely be better if you talk about the realization per sheet would increase, because right now we were selling just commodity items in the domestic market. So the mix would change, and slowly and steadily we would be targeting only on the value addition product.
Okay. And
Mr.
lastly, sir,
Rishabh,
yeah.
you may rejoin the queue for the follow-up question. The next question comes from the line of Ajay Sharma, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can you give the breakup between the domestic and the export margin, please, in the last quarter?
Just a minute, sir.
सर लैमिनेट की बात कर रहे हैं? हेलो
हाँ जी.
लैमिनेट में डोमेस्टिक में लैमिनेट का जो 12.31 lakhs है और एक्सपोर्ट का 20.36, टोटल 32.67 lakhs शीट्स सोल्ड है.
No, I'm not asking volume. I'm asking the margin.
Margin.
The margins again, sir, हमने ना कभी इसको separate नहीं करा है, because again I'm pretty much sure it would be in loss or maybe very very low margin. So आपको इस quarter से we would be able, if you want, we can send you an email with the separate of it, but maybe from this quarter onwards we would be mentioning the margin in both the market separately.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Deepak from Unifi Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have two questions. First, on the new plant ramp up, if you can share any orders that you've won or any commitment from existing clients, new clients, or new geographies that you're targeting, which gives you the confidence of 700 crores revenue in 2-3 years. And for year one, which is the next year, how should we look at the revenue from the new plant? Should it be somewhere around 200 to 250 crores?
No. Typically, first of all, orders of हमारे, it is not, we are running customers, like होता है. They are buying, we know their capacity. There are two sizes or different sizes, which they are buying from some other other player. So that we will get the order when it starts. Secondly, we are not targeting so much market in past for export. The reason being we have no capacity. When we have a capacity, our total, as we mentioned, Manat told that revenue expected is 1,000 crore, 700 to 1,000 crore. So we are expecting only 300-400 crore next year. Only 30-40% capacity utilization, not 100. So it is not at all problem for us.
Okay, understood. Sir, EBITDA margins this quarter was about 20%, looks a bit high. So should we look at lower margins given that you will have some new plant related cost, the new sales employees that you're putting up in domestic?
If you ask me, rather, rest something should be in the hands of God also. We are quite hopeful it will improve. It should improve. The reason being, we have employed so many people for new plant, which is already expenses is there. Revenue wise, don't think so. There will be any pressure on the margins, not at all. And rather domestic market, which you heard that we are not making a separate balance sheet. Sometimes we are feeling depression that we are losing or we are at par. So it means our EBITDA from export market is much more higher than otherwise, meaning which B grade scrap we are selling, everything selling, that is a total sale. So there should not be any pressure on the EBITDA margin. It should improve.
Understood. So last question, sir, you mentioned that US sales would start picking up from February. So did we ship anything to the US in Q3 quarter?
Yes, we did, but very few, just whatever they required on very urgent basis.
Okay. And so from Q4 onwards, we should, since US is 10% of our business, we should see 10% of the book growing from the US sales, and also
no, I don't
we won't
think
be
so.
More. If by chance it looks definitely, if 25% removed, they're taken off by Mr. Trump, hopefully it will be, then it can grow more sale also in USA, maybe 20-30% up.
Hopefully in the next 2-3 days only it is announced 25%, so you might even look for 15-20% jump in the next 2 months only.
Okay, sure. And the margins on the US would be similar since since the client is bearing the custom duty, right?
Margins, we export in any country, so it actually it is taken by them only. So for us, it remains the same.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank
All
you.
the best, sir. Thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Keshav from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the follow-up. So just a clarification on the press release which you uploaded when Kogyo have bought the stake in the company. So they have a call option to increase it after 5 years or something, to increase it to majority. So what is that?
Sir, abhi to wo Keshav ji, we have no idea what will happen after 5 years. It's a very long time to even discuss right now. I think as of now, they're not yet on the board itself. So we also haven't thought about such a proposal. Yes, we know it is in the contract, but still haven't even discussed about it.
This company is not a promoter-driven company. All are professional, totally professional. So इन चीजों का हमारे को ना कमेंट्स है कोई ना अभी सो इनिशियल तो नेक्स्ट कोई बात नहीं तो केशव जी हम मिलते रहेंगे हम आपको आंसर देते रहेंगे जो नई इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगी.
Got it. So the understanding is that after 5 years they have the option. Right now, at least for initial 5 years, they don't have the option to buy more from you.
So we can't actually, we have no idea right now. Let them come on the board and we'll give you a clear picture next quarter.
Mr. Keshav,
I'm talking about the agreement.
Mr. Keshav, please rejoin. There are people waiting. The next question comes from the line of Dhruv Bajaj from Growth Sphere Ventures. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity again to ask questions. Sir, I had a couple of basic questions. Firstly, the EU trade deal was announced a day before yesterday, and since 50% of our revenues come from that segment, so are we bullish on that front? Yeah, it won't impact us a lot because anyways we are doing good business there.
See, Europe ka to I think again cannot say we are bullish for the European market definitely, but I don't know when this would come in play and then we can actually take benefits to compete with the European manufacturers. Definitely it will be a benefit for all Indian organized players, not only for Stylam but other Indian organized players also.
Got it, sir. And sir, were there any thoughts, like in the agreement we have also mentioned that if we don't sell the stake to ICA guys, then we will have to buy out their stake. So my question was that earlier because of this family dispute, were there any thoughts to buy out the stake of our other family, or if the valuations were not lucrative to buy out? Were there any thought on that one? Like you always wanted to just get in your stake and maybe?
We have never thought of buying out any stake from either ICA or from our cousin also. So we have no idea for this.
There are many opportunities to grow this company.
नहीं सर बिल्कुल हम तो सर इसलिए आप जुड़े हो तो हमको और ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया. बट सर एक और चीज ये थी कि सर जैसे अभी हमने जो केपेक्स करा है, लाइक आप कह रहे हो कि एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स को बेचने वाले हैं, तो बिकॉज हमारा काफी अच्छा स्किल का केपेक्स है, तो पहले से कोई एग्रीमेंट था कि इतना सप्लाई तो आ जाएगा कि हमारा, या फिर यू फील कि 2 साल थोड़ा स्केल अप करने में टाइम जाएगा इसको?
नहीं, मार्केट का आइडिया है, हम कोई नया प्रोडक्ट नहीं लगा रहे. जैसे सॉलिड सरफेस वाज अ न्यू प्रोडक्ट, वहाँ पे टाइम लगेगा. यहाँ पे एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट, एग्जिस्टिंग साइज, कुछ बीच में एडिशन करे हैं. तो आई डोंट थिंक हमें कोई इतनी प्रॉब्लम आएगी, क्योंकि मार्केट हमें पता है, एग्जिस्टिंग मार्केट, एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स, न्यू मार्केट, कुछ प्राइस ड्रिवन होंगी. तो इसीलिए हमें यहाँ पे कोई वो नहीं है कि इतना में टाइम लगना है. दैट इज व्हाई वी से विद इन 2 years वी कैन इजीली अचीव 75-80% कैपेसिटी.
एंड पूरा का पूरा एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट में रहेगा, राइट? आपने पहले कौन कौन
70% एक्सपोर्ट रहेगा जी, 30% डोमेस्टिक.
70% एक्सपोर्ट, 30% डोमेस्टिक. परफेक्ट सर. सर एक लास्ट मेजर क्वेश्चन था, तो जैसे हमसे अभी आईका बोर्ड में तो आया नहीं, आप जैसे बता रहे हो, बट जब टेक ओवर हो रहा था तो आप लोगों का ऐसे कुछ अग्रीमेंट से कुछ हुआ था कि आगे फ्यूचर में आप लोगों का कोई प्लान हो, कोई पर्टिकुलर केपेक्स करने का, तो वो आपको मे बी हेल्प करेगी? अब बिकॉज बैलेंस शीट ऑलरेडी क्लीन है, तो वो लोगों का भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहेगा कि कहाँ केपेक्स करना है, लाइक पार्टिकल बोर्ड हो गया, एमडीएफ हो गया, सब कुछ.
पहली बात तो सर ये टेक ओवर नहीं है, इट्स अ स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप.
नहीं सर, आई मीन दैट ओनली, सो सॉरी सर. आई थिंक ओपन ऑफर ट्रिगर हो तो हम उसको टेक ओवर.
केपेक्स में आई थिंक दे वुड आल्सो बी हैप्पी इफ द कंपनी इज ग्रोइंग. So we are taking a good proposal in front of them. I don't think any company or any board will disapprove that. अगर हम कोई एक ungenuine चीज लेके जाएंगे, then they might say. But अगर genuine चीज लेके जा रहे हैं, the company is growing, why would they even say no to it? And for funds, even we don't have a problem because कोई debt free है, हमें कोई loan लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. If we are putting a plant of 1,000-2,000 crore, तब एक अलग बात है. छोटे मोटे 200-300 crore के plant में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं ना उनको भी.
राइट राइट सर, मैं एक्चुअली वही चीज पूछने की ट्राई कर रहा था कि जैसे हमारा भी आप केपेक्स बता रहे हो कि एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट में ही है एंड 2 साल में एक्सपेक्टिंग यूटिलाइज हो ही जाएगा आराम से. तो सिंस हमारा लैमिनेट में तो अच्छा प्रेजेंस है ही है, हमने एक्रिलिक में ट्राई किया था बट समहाउ बिकॉज ऑफ XYZ रीजन हम उतना में भी स्केल अप नहीं कर पाए. तो आफ्टर लैमिनेट सब लोग 2 साल बाद कुछ अभी तक सोच रहे हैं कोई पर्टिकुलर सेगमेंट ऐड करेंगे.
थोड़ा सा एक चीज और है ना, थोड़ा सा जापानियों को भी छोड़ देना, उनको बोलोगे कि अलग भाई तू बेच ले, वहाँ बेच लिया था.
हमने कहा था ना कॉल की स्टार्टिंग में कि हमने प्लान पहले करे हुए थे. ये शायद कुछ महीनों में हम अनाउंस ही कर दे whatever other plans what we have besides laminates, because we know any plant takes 2 to 3 years to put up. तो हम शायद आपको अगले 2 क्वार्टर में अनाउंस ही कर दे what we are planning to do so.
राइट राइट सर, बट जस्ट टू गेट एन आइडिया, हम लोग ये लैमिनेट साइड पे रहने वाले हैं या बिकॉज पास्ट में से प्लाईवुड में कमिट करा था देन वी दैट साइड, तो वो सब तो नहीं होगा ना.
प्लाईवुड में मिल जाएंगे. लैमिनेट्स में अभी हमें इमीडिएट कोई प्लांट लगाने की जरूरत नहीं, बिकॉज एक्सेस इमीडिएटली हमारे पास बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज है विद आइका और बहुत प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो हमने सोचे हुए हैं.
ओके सर, परफेक्ट. सो वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट सम अनाउंसमेंट इन मे बी 2-3 months, राइट? इफ कुछ केपेक्स का होगा. परफेक्ट है सर. ओके सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर. मेरे बेसिक क्वेश्चन थे एंड लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू हैव अ इन पर्सन मीटिंग विद यू इन फ्यूचर इफ पॉसिबल.
एनी टाइम.
थैंक यू सो मच सर.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. On behalf of Systematics Institutional Equities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.